Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to do a video that's completely unrelated to watches. And this is something that I saw has been trending on YouTube lately, and in tandem with a video I actually just did and some of the feedback I got on it, I thought it'd be kind of cool to address this. So I've seen a lot of videos lately on YouTube about this whole false positivity about people on YouTube of always portraying themselves in a positive light and always being happy and goofy, and everything that they're portraying on their videos is that life is fantastic and that they're always happy and everything is great. And a lot of people have been complaining, I've noticed on the YouTube communities, about how this is kind of setting false expectations for people to watch, and it's kind of making people feel insecure about their own lives, thinking there's something wrong with them because they're not always happy as the people that they're watching on YouTube. And the other thing I kind of popped me to want to make this video is, I just did that video about what I do for a living and also, kind of my philosophy on money. And two things about that video. One is, that thing grew tremendously quickly, and I was really actually surprised, beyond surprised, truthfully. Really happy too, because I love talking about stuff like that, stuff that I find meaningful. It's one of those things that I know all these people are putting out videos on their channels about what they want to do with their channels this year and how they want to add certain watches to their collection and all that. And I don't really have that kind of a goal for my channel this year. I'm not looking to add particular pieces to my collection, although God knows I will. And I'm not looking to reach a certain subscriber threshold or a certain number of views or frankly any of that. What I really would like to do with my channel is I would like to bring more realism to it. I'd like to make it more meaningful, and I would like to continue treading on the edge of our hobby of also making it more realistic and relatable to people. One of these days I'm going to make my last YouTube video, and hopefully it's a long time in the future, but at some point this channel will eventually go away, and I don't have any plans of it happening anytime soon. But if I do leave any sort of legacy in this community, I would like to have the legacy be along the lines of bringing more realism and more acceptance to this community. We have a community that tends to breed a lot of insecurity, that tends to breed a lot of elitism, a lot of materialism, and I really wanted to, and I'm not saying I've done this in any respect, but I really wanted to help bring a voice in there of, everybody has a valid opinion, and this is a hobby for anybody and everybody coming together, and it's not just about materialism, but it's also about just kind of enjoying these things and enjoying each other and enjoying the hobby. And I really wanted to take away some of that elitist aspect of this community and make it somebody that everybody could enjoy from every level, and make it more about just watches and materialistic stuff, but about life and kind of the journey of life. And I'm still trying to figure out how that's going to work out in the long run, but I'd really like to do more of that, because I think bringing some of that into it, bringing these anecdotes of life and making it real, and because we're all going through these journeys on life, is something that I'm really passionate about, and it's something I'd really like to do more of on this channel. And you guys have been very kind to me, and the few times that I've done videos like that they've gone over well, and you guys have accepted those. And I'm not saying they're going to become the norm by any stretch, but I appreciate that I'm being given some free license to bring more of that aspect to my videos, more of philosophical stuff, not just pure materialistic stuff. And I think both are very important, but I appreciate you guys giving me that opportunity to explore some of those other things. So, with that said, when I did that video, about what I do for a living, my philosophy on life, some of the things that came back, especially when I was talking about at the end, about having a positive mental outlook and putting out in the universe what you want to get back. I know some people, I got some feedback from some people that I think very well of, came back and said, even with a really positive outlook, bad things happen to good people, and this isn't a cure-all for everything. That the world can be very cruel, and it's almost kind of like you're kind of blind and silly to kind of go through life just expecting good things to happen to you. And, kind of thinking of that, and then also that I'm seeing this trending in the communities on YouTube about this kind of false happiness and this, this whole kind of facade on YouTube, everybody just pretends to be happy-go-lucky all the time. I really wanted to address it because it's true. And I'm sure I'm guilty of this too. I always come to you guys on these videos typically where I'm really happy and go lucky and, usually sarcastic and goofy. But, I'm a human like any one of you guys, and, everybody in the community, regardless of the videos they put out there, is a human being, and they're subject to a variety of emotions, and, everybody at some point in their life, usually multiple points in their life, gets knocked on their ass. And, we all go through really rough patches, and, I'm not always super happy and thrilled on, in my life either, and actually there's some of these weeks that I really struggle to put a video out for you guys because I'm just not in the mood. I'll be dealing with crap in life, and just finding the motivation to sit down and, do something like this can be very, very difficult. I just saw I flipped my wrist up, by the way. So customary wristwatch check. Here's some watch content. I'm still wearing my G-Shock. I love this watch. But I mean, yeah, I mean, so, you know, in these videos, you guys get to see snapshots of people's lives. Through editing, you're getting to see, you know, content that's obviously been edited out to show certain features or aspects. And we all have great things going on in our life typically, and I have many things to be thankful for too, but there definitely is, you know, truth in some of this whitewashing that we're kind of, you know, only showing the positive aspect of things, this forced positivity. And I wanted to kind of address that because I do think that it probably does set some false expectations for people to watch these things, to think that once they have similar life circumstances, for example, that all their problems are going to go away and that life is going to be phenomenal. And it's not true. I mean, even when you reach a certain level of success in life and you're happy and you have a lot of things to be grateful for, I mean, life, no doubt, can, you know, turn everything upside down like that. And we all go through really hard times. And there are many times in my life that I've been knocked on my knees. Actually, I mean, like one of the years that comes in particular remembrance to me is 2015. The first several months of 2015, I lost several key individuals in my life that were very special to me. Actually, one of them used to own this hoodie here. So, I mean, there are times in life where literally everything kind of blows up and we're left kind of like awestruck at how the whole world has come collapsing around us. And, you know, that false positivity and that forced positivity on YouTube, I think part of the reason that it's done that way, and I think I understand it too, is do we want to motivate people or do we want to just show people how awful life is? I mean, and part of the reason that I, for example, don't watch a lot of news is if I watch the news, I'm just focusing on negativity. And it's like, to me, you have two choices in life. You can focus on the negativity, and there's tons of negativity, and there's no shortage of it to find. And if you're looking for negative stuff, you're going to have no problem finding it. But what good does that do you? I mean, yes, life can be abysmally cruel. And there's stuff in my life that's going to haunt me the rest of my life that I've seen that it does really make you question at times, you know, life and just how screwed up things can get. But if that's all you're going to focus on, that's such a demotivating thing. And I mean, you're basically putting yourself in a perspective of giving up on life and just accepting that life is never going to be anything but misery. And I don't want to put that out in the world either. But at the same point, just making everything pure positivity and saying life is grand either, I get that some people, you know, have issues with that, and just it's a false thing. I mean, just focusing on the positive too isn't a great thing either. You need both perspectives. And I think both positive and negative experiences in life have legitimate purpose and meaning, and they both have extreme value. And without the highs and lows, why would you appreciate anything? If you didn't have situations that were absolutely beautiful, and you had nothing to contrast those two, how would you appreciate them? If you didn't have, for example, massive losses in your life, how would you ever appreciate love? If you thought it was something that was just commonplace and it was never going to be taken away from you, right? And if you hadn't gone through periods in your life where you hated your job and you had all these difficult things you were going through, and once you achieve success, would you really appreciate that success if you hadn't gone through all that hard work and all that labor and been, you know, demotivated and like beaten up? I mean, that almost makes the victories in life that much sweeter. I mean, yes, there are abysmally painful things that people have to go through in life. And as much as I know that I've struggled with things and I have my own demons that I still fight, I know there's people out there that have it way worse than I've ever had it. And, you know, there are times in life that it is for sure very difficult to understand why things are the way they are and why people have to suffer. But I think suffering has a purpose. And again, it's because of these things that we go through that we appreciate the highs in life that much more. And I also, at least in my own experience, and I know I'm talking with some of you guys too personally, that some of the most difficult things we go through life, if anything, make us much better people. I'm a much more, I would like to say, humble, but also grateful person than I ever would have been before I'd been through some things in my life. I think you also are that much better at being there for other people. I think until you've suffered yourself, you really can't help other people with their own suffering because you don't understand it. And, you know, for the longest time, actually, I wanted to be a motivational speaker. You feel free to laugh now. But until I think I had a better understanding of what it was like to be in places of hopelessness and not understanding things, I don't think I could have added any value to other people. To be there for someone, you have to have understood similar circumstances, at least in my perspective. And, you know, at the very least, to be a good listener too, I think you need to be able to kind of understand a little bit, walk in their shoes of what they're going through. So yes, there's a lot of false positivity on YouTube, but everybody at the end of the day is still a human being, and my life is every bit as screwed up as everybody else's is. And there's lots of days that I have to drag myself to go make one of these videos because I don't want to let you guys down, and I have pride in what I've, you know, some of what I've done here. Just in talking with some of you guys, I feel like I have, you know, made a little bit of an impact, and I say very little. but in bringing, I think a more unfiltered approach to watches, and also trying to bring a little bit more harmony and open-mindedness to our community. And I'm not the only channel doing this. I have several friends that I know are trying to do very similar things, and I appreciate them always, and you've seen a lot of them on my live chats. But beyond that, I thought this was a very interesting topic. It's very near and dear to my heart. And I kind of wanted to put this out there because, again, you guys have been so kind in putting up with my other rants that weren't watch related, and having these kind of deep philosophical conversations on life is a very deep passion of mine, and I appreciate you guys letting me go on them. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's anything wrong with having this kind of false, forced positivity on YouTube? Do you think it's actually doing harm to people? Or do you think that it's great because it's forcing people to constantly be in a positive mindset? Like I said, I think everything needs to be a balance. I think there needs to be a realism aspect to stuff. And I know myself, I'm guilty of making sometimes overly positive content. And I think that, in life, the highs and the lows, I think, have their own beauty. And I think you need to show everything to get the best balance. So, with all that said, guys, thank you so much for putting up with this rant. If you like this and you have other ideas of things I could talk about like this, feel free to let me know below. And if you hated it, that's fine too. If this isn't something you guys want to see, I'm totally open to not doing this kind of stuff anymore. But as always, thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video, which, of course, please remember to subscribe. If you're just here for the watch content, I promise, guys, there's more of that coming too. So, well, let's say, guys, have an awesome day, and take care.